First story is titled, Am I the a-hole for refusing to visit my brother and his newborn because of what he did 2 years ago? I, male 33, lost my wife 2 years ago. Right now, I'm a single dad of my 9-year-old son. My wife had cancer. It was too much for her to take, but she always said that our son was her strength. She was receiving treatment and spending time at home with our son, as she always said that she wanted to spend as much time at home with our son as possible. She just knew. I took care of our son's needs as well as household, and her family was very supportive. Her sister helped by driving her to the hospital, but my family didn't do much. My brother, age 37, kept coming over and making comments about how our home was a mess and unhealthy for our son. Claimed that he was being neglected and asked what would happen to him after my wife passed away. He bluntly said that it wasn't fair for our son to live like that and kept being negative and telling those things to my wife, making her feel bad and worried. I told him to stop coming over and just leave us alone. I was angry with him, so I went low contact. And 1 month before my wife passed away, I had a visit from the CPS. My wife was home when they came. They did an interview with me and my son, and I explained my wife's condition. They then talked to her sister and informed me that someone called them and filed a report about our situation and possible neglect in our house. Eventually, nothing came out of the report, but my wife never stopped crying, and she got very sick that night. And I'm sure she felt helpless, as if she was a bad mother. I assured her that she was in fact stronger than most people and that the report was nothing, so she shouldn't have been worried. But she couldn't help it. My dad called me a week after, telling me to be careful because my brother reported me to CPS and was bragging about it, hoping they take action. I was livid. I got into a huge argument with him, and all who defended him and I caught contact with him right then. After my wife's funeral, no one visited except for her sister. I talked to my family, but I haven't talked to my brother for 2 years after what he did and all the stress he caused my wife. Last week, my mom called me to tell me my brother and his wife had a baby boy and wanted me to bring my son and visit him. I refused. She called me unreasonable and told me to let my son meet his cousin and uncle, to just forgive and forget. She kept pressuring me despite saying I don't want to. My dad himself said it's time for us to reconcile and get together as a family. I ended up yelling at them that I won't forget the scene my brother made before my wife passed away, and claiming that we were bad parents knowing that we were struggling and doing all we can. They just kept insisting I visit and how it goes, but I still refused. My brother didn't apologize and only talked to my parents. This is his first baby with his wife, as they had issues with miscarriages in the past. Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. I'd let them all know you'll go no contact with them too if they keep this up. Last I checked, the sister was the only one actually helping and the only one to come to your wife's funeral. They all suck. Not disagreeing in general, but I think you misread about the funeral. I'm fairly sure what it means to say is that only the wife's sister visited after the funeral, although I think the wording is a little unclear. Not the a-hole. He tried to have your son removed from you while your wife was dying and bragged about it. He'd be dead to me. The class act would be to help clean up the house. This was despicable. Not the a-hole. Not the a-hole, not the a-hole, not the a-hole. 1. He called CPS on you for no reason. 2. He put unnecessary stress on your wife in her final days. Screw him. He would be dead to me. Agreed. He would be dead to me if he stressed out my cat in her final days, let alone wife. The forgiveness fetish needs to be addressed before it does any more harm. Now for the next story. Am I the a-hole for wanting to go to college even though my siblings need me? Hey, I'll get straight to it. I, female 17, am the oldest of 9. 15 male, 13 male, 13 female, 12 male, 10 female, 7 male, 5 female, 2 male. My mother is a single mother who works hard to supply for us but relies mostly off child support, as most of my siblings and I have different fathers. Though I'm only a half-sister to most of my siblings, I still love them all very much and try my very best to treat them as equal. I got a job at 14 to help make extra cash, and my days normally consist of getting up early to help get all the kiddos to school, or getting online for virtual school, and then going to my classes off the day. I'm a junior in high school, before going to work right when school ends and getting home a little before midnight. During the day while I'm in class, I'm still watching my 2-year-old brother and making sure all the other kids are still in class, / paying attention. My mom works at a small restaurant nearby from around 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., but when she's home, mostly just sleeps because she's tired from her long shifts. Now, for the actual MIDA haul. Recently, I've been looking at and getting ready to apply to colleges, but haven't told my mother. She went through my laptop the other day and found out what I was looking up financial aid and looking at some state schools a bit farther away, 600 to 700 miles, and got really upset. She started crying, saying she couldn't afford me to send to school, and that she couldn't continue to care for my siblings without me. I felt really bad and apologized, and we just sort of dropped it, but I didn't plan on stopping the search. I mentioned the other day I was really interested in a nearby state school, one state over, that offered my major and was cheaper than in-state tuition at my state school. I was super excited and told my mom. She completely blew at me. She kept telling me how selfish I was to abandon our family and that if I left, I'd be setting my family up to fail. She started yelling and crying, and soon my siblings got upset and also started crying too. It was a mess that left me really conflicted. On one hand, I don't want to be selfish and prioritize my future over my siblings, but on the other hand, I'm just exhausted. I'm so tired and running on 4 hours of sleep, and then just spending all day either working, babysitting, or doing school. I understand that's how life is, and that it's just hard and I have to learn to deal. But at the same time, it all feels so frustrating. I see all these other kids my age going out and having fun and doing teen things, and it makes me sad that I have to miss that. But I know it's my responsibility to take care of my siblings. I'm at loss, and at this point, just need to know if I'd really be a Nahal if I decided to go to college. I'd still send money home as often as possible, and I'd get financial aid and take out a loan to spend as little money as possible. But I feel terrible for wanting to be selfish and leave my family. Now for the top comments. Not Nahal at all. Your siblings are not your responsibility, they are your mother's. She needs to stop relying on you. She works 8 hours a day. That's pretty normal. She shouldn't spend the rest of the time sleeping. She needs to be a parent. She chose to have all these kids and she needs to take care of them. Parentification is abuse. You have every right to live your own life. Go to college. You need to think of your own future and how you will support yourself. I came here to say this. 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. is not a long shift. It's 7.5 hours after a lunch break. It's very unfair for a mom to put this burden on you. Look at it this way. If you get a degree, you'll have a more financially secure future and might be able to help out your siblings when they are ready for college, like with a place to stay, etc. I literally did 3 to 4 8-hour shifts with full-time school. The mom isn't even taking care of the kids when she's home. So why exactly is she tired? And if she does get tired easily, why exactly does she keep on popping kids out? Shouldn't have had kids after the 10-year-old. It sucks for mom, but it sounds like she's perpetually dumped after getting pregnant. I don't care how many dads there are. If she can't take care of her kids, she needs to stop having intercourse since she obviously doesn't care about using protection. 9 kids is pretty damn intentional. God, not a-hole. Please go to college. That is going to get you a job and help you become independent, not your siblings. You are being parentified, which is a type of abuse. Your mom was the one who was so irresponsible for having 9 kids. The next story is titled, Am I the a-hole for telling my mom we haven't had a good relationship in a long time and wanted to go live with my dad? I, 16 female, used to have a good relationship with my mother. That has since crashed and burned since she dated and married my stepdad, Gary, 6 years ago. Gary treats his son, Ian, 19 male, like he's the center of the universe and expects my mother to as well. So she does. Anything Ian wants, Ian gets, and that usually comes at the expense of me. Ian wanted my room when they moved in. I was forced to go to another room to make the transition easier for everyone. Ian wanted a car for his 16th birthday. I didn't get braces for another year. Ian wanted to go on an expensive trip for spring break. I had to give up volleyball to make it happen. Ian wanted to have his side of the family over. I was expected to find somewhere else to be, since I wasn't family. My mother just went along with all of this and acted like it shouldn't affect me at all. My dad was overseas for a long time, and we used to FaceTime, and he was so upset by what he was hearing. He's home now and is offering to have me come live with him. I'm not seeing a reason not to go, and so I told my mom I wanted to go live with my dad. She predictably freaked out and asked why I did want to do that, and said that we had such a good relationship, she didn't understand how this came so out of the blue. I told her that we haven't had a good relationship since she blindly decided to follow Gary's lead and give Ian anything he wanted, and it always came at my expense. My mom tried to argue, so I said I also wanted to leave because she let them kick me out of my own house because I wasn't family. So I was going to go live with someone who was. My mom started crying and said she wouldn't let me go. So I told her that my dad was willing to go to court over it, and I was old enough to be able to say where I wanted to be. She's been a crying mess since I told her, and Gary's being a jerk about how awful I'm being. Here's where I might be the a-hole. He was witching at me about how terribly I'm treating them and how I'm not thinking about them at all. I asked why should I? He never thought of me when he was taking things from me to give to his kid. I said, let's face facts here. You don't care about me. What you care about is losing the child support you spend on your son. He sort of went slack-jawed and I walked off. My dad said my mom called and threatened to take him to court, so he said he'd see her there. Now she's panicking because she realized he is planning on taking her to court over this. Mom and Gary of course think I'm the a-hole for making things hard for everyone, but my dad and grandparents say to leave and never look back. Am I the a-hole for wanting to get away from this situation? Now for the top comments. Not an a-hole. I think you hit the nail on the head when you said he was worried about losing your child support. I hope your mother has a job because she is going to have to pay child support to your dad. Exactly. The expensive vacation, his car, and God knows what else for Ian was likely taken out of the child support for her. That's her money. Gary's big mad because his free money is being taken away. Opie, let them stay mad. Take care of yourself and let your dad take care of you too. Nothing that's happening is your fault. Be well and best of luck. Not the a-hole. Go to your dad's house. I'm so sorry this is going on. Not the a-hole. You have been punished for her inability to stand up to her husband for far too long. I hope that life with your dad is amazing and it treats you how you deserve to be treated. You should let him force her to stop treating you as family. You owe them nothing. At all. The last story is titled, Am I the a-hole for telling my parents I resent them for pushing me to spend so much time with my sister? My parents have me, 17 female, and my sister, 14 female. Ever since we were little, my parents have wanted us to spend a lot of time together. And sometimes they have told me I couldn't do something because my little sister wouldn't be invited. Like my best friend's 7th birthday party wasn't 4-year-old friendly. And I was devastated because they went to this really cool water park that I had really wanted to go to. They backed off a little bit when I was like 13 to 15, and then once I started working, they pushed again. I went to school, worked a couple of hours after school and a couple of hours on weekends. Then, when I would have free time to unwind, they would come in and ask me to spend time with my sister. Or why don't I let my sister come and talk to me while I relax? Why don't I go see a movie with my sister? Why am I spending time talking to a friend and not my sister? It's not that we hate each other, but I don't want to spend that much free time with her. We're not super alike. Our interests are different. I still spend some time with her, but I'm closer to my friends because we are bonded over shared interests. I got very frustrated recently because my sister wanted to go to a certain store to get a dress and I was out with a friend. They called me and told me I needed to come home and spend time with her and take her to the store to get the dress. I told them I already had plans, and they told me, well, I have a new plan now and to tell my friend family time called. When I got home, I told them I am tired of them pushing us together so much, and that I resent them for pushing that time so much, and that I should be able to relax or have friends and not have to drop plans already made, just to bring her to get a dress. I told them I should be able to do things that she can't, and she should be able to do things that I can't. They told me they were just being normal parents, and that it's the life of a sibling, spending time with them and changing plans for them. I told them they were the reason I didn't get invites to certain parties as a kid, because they were the parents who brought a sibling with invitee, and not everyone likes that. This happened so many times it used to make me feel so bad. Even some actual friends didn't get to invite me because their parents didn't want my sister to come, and my parents wouldn't keep her home. They said that it was the problem of those adults. I told them I blamed them, and that they were wrong to do it, and that spending time with my sister didn't make up for the things I missed. Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. And this comment from them, they told me they were just being normal parents and that it's the life of a sibling, spending time with them and changing plans for them. BS. I've never had to cancel plans with friends to hang with my sisters. They didn't have to cancel plans to hang with me. And I've never had a friend cancel a plan with me to go see their sibling, unless it was some sort of emergency. Why can't your parents take her dress shopping? They're obsessed with making sure she has a relationship with you because you're family, but they won't go out with her and let you have your own life once in a while? I know, it would have made much more sense for them to take her shopping. But they said it was something sisterly. It's annoying, and clothes shopping is not my idea of fun. Not at a-hole. As a parent of a 13 and 15-year-old, it is not normal to expect them to spend that much time together. I did used to let them attend each other's parties, but to go to someone else's party, you need an invite. No invite, and that son is spending the time somewhere else. It is totally normal for both of you to have different friends and spend time apart. Exactly. But my parents considered an invite for me an invite for her, and vice versa. Not a-hole at all. Your parents, well, there's no nice way to say this. Shouts from the rooftops, your parents are a-holes. That is not normal parenting. Normal parenting would be to recognize that your kids are separate people with their own friends and interests. It is not demanding that one kid essentially give up their life to hang out with the other one. Nope. Did they just not want to bother with two sets of activities? I can't find a reasonable explanation for why they'd want to do this, other than that they want you to look after your sister so they don't have to. And that's the end of this video, folks. As always, leave a comment and hit like and subscribe. And if you want more of this content, turn your notification on to get updated on the latest videos. And I'll catch you in the next one. Stay safe.